Over the years, I've had way more than my fair share of physical confrontations with kids. Not because they're not great kids, and it's not because I didn't have a great relationship with them. Often I was their safe person, the one that was there to support them. But they were completely overwhelmed, in meltdown. Their nervous system had gone way past the point of coping. And when a person gets to that point, things can get dangerous really quickly. I remember a situation where I ended up getting stuck in a kitchen with a really large teenager. He had 4 kitchen knives, 2 in each hand. He was pacing back and forward, looking really angry and like he wanted to hurt me. It was a really difficult situation. Over time, I've had chairs thrown at me, furniture tossed across the room. I remember a situation where a young person grabbed a computer monitor and he threw it through the window. And then he actually started picking up the shards of glass and throwing it at me. These are real life situations, things that can actually happen. And I want to talk about what actually works in these situations. Unfortunately, I get heaps of comments on my videos like, hit them back, show them who's boss. I'm going to show you what actually works. Things that de-escalate the situation, that keep everyone safe and stop you from getting into trouble and maintain your relationship with the young person. In these situations, discipline, control, or who's in the right shouldn't be the focus when a child's swinging at you, hitting, kicking, biting, or throwing things. It's about safety, their safety, your safety, and the safety of everyone else around them. So in situations when a child's starting to become really aggressive, I'll look for things like, where's my exit? What's between me and them? How much space do I have? Is there risk to other people? Okay, so let's look at a situation where a young person's coming at you in a really aggressive way. Your positioning and your body language really matter in this situation. One thing that's often taught in crisis intervention training is something called the supportive stance. So in that situation, what you want to do is you want to be a little bit angled. You want to give them a pathway out. You're not blocking their way. You're not standing in their personal space. You're coming backwards on your back leg and you're actually trying to keep them out of your space. Your hands are open. You're actually making sure that you're not clenched. You're not really rigid. You want to be relaxed. Your hands are there if you need to guide them away from you so that you can exit. That's always what you want to be doing. You want to be exiting, or you want them to be able to exit. By being on your back foot a little bit and being relaxed, you're actually able to, if they throw a kick at you, you're able to lift your leg and actually get your leg out of the way, or the fact that it's not grounded will actually minimize the injury. If you're physically much bigger than them, there can actually be ways that you can make yourself less intimidating and less imposing. If you're backing away, usually you're actually making yourself smaller to them. Sometimes I'll actually find ways when I'm standing with a child to kneel down or just make myself lower than them, lower than their eye line. But obviously you want to assess the situation to make sure that they're calm enough. I'm not going to be kneeling down and let them kick me in the face. But the strategy of making yourself less intimidating works whether they're 6 or 16. The key is make sure you're protecting yourself, but if you can find ways to add less pressure and make yourself less threatening, it'll actually help in the moment. Having barriers in a crisis situation between you and the young person that's really aggressive can be really helpful. Looking for things like tables in the way, or chairs, or sometimes even a doorway. Anything that can be between you and the child, sometimes even to block things that are thrown. I'm not someone that's just going to stand here and say to you, just stay calm, keep you cool. In these types of situations, we're all going to freak out a bit. It is really tough. But one approach that might actually help is just remembering that it's not personal. This is about their nervous system. This is the fact that they're completely overwhelmed. and their brains shut off. They might be in flight or fight mode. So in these situations, if you can avoid taking it personally and getting emotional, it might actually help calm things down. Reducing verbal pressure helps. In other words, talk less. When a person's overwhelmed, lots of over-explanation or lecturing adds more pressure. Short, simple language works much better. Another really important part of this strategy is giving the person a way out. A lot of escalations happen because people feel trapped. So sometimes saying something as simple as, if you need some more space, you can go outside. Or, I'm going to back off and give you some room. This can really bring the intensity down. It's also important not to turn this moment into a power struggle. Once it becomes about who's right or who's in charge, it's much more likely that things are going to get worse. Because the goal in a crisis isn't about control. It's about reducing the intensity until the young person can think clearly again. Now, it's also important to discuss this. Staying calm and using low arousal strategies doesn't mean ignoring safety. If someone's about to hurt themselves or they're about to hurt someone else, it may be really important that an adult intervenes. But the key principle is doing the least restrictive thing necessary. You do the essential things so someone doesn't get hurt. Nothing more. There might be some extreme or even complex situations where restrictive practices might be needed. Something like a physical hold, something that's used to help keep everyone safe. If you're a parent or a professional that's supporting one of these young people that might need something like this, make sure that you have the proper training and the right plans in place. The good news is that situations like this are incredibly rare, and most situations can be managed with what we've spoken about: safety, space, reducing pressure, and settling the nervous system. You're not trying to win the situation, you're simply preventing harm. And remember, if something gets broken, it can be replaced. If something gets damaged, it can be fixed. If there's a mess, it can be cleaned up. The priority in a crisis is always people. How well you can stay calm and relaxed in a situation will make a big difference. Because when a young person's in a crisis, often they can't regulate themselves. They need to borrow your calm. Eventually the storm will pass. Breathing slows down, movement changes. The nervous system begins to settle. And that's when the next stage is really important. Reconnection. Not a lecture, not punishment in the heat of the moment. Just reconnecting and letting them know that you're there and your relationship is still going to be fine. Later, when everyone's calm, you can talk about what happened. What led up to it? What were they feeling? What might they do next time? There may still be consequences. There may be things that need to be repaired. Damage also might need to be addressed. But those conversations happen after regulation, not in the middle of a crisis. Because when a young person reaches that level of overwhelm, safety comes first. Calm comes next. And learning happens later. If you're a parent watching this and your child sometimes reaches this level of overwhelm, you're not alone. Supporting young people through moments like this is incredibly hard. Make sure you've subscribed to the YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. There's a heap more free content to come. And if things are really complex and you're needing some more personalised individual support, make sure you reach out to us at the Guided Path. There's a link down in the description. We can have a free chat about how we can help. I'll see you next time.